This is Stock Maximize, problem 5 from week 1 of our FBISD practice contest. So the problem basically simplifies down to you're given a share price of a stock for the next n days. Each day you can only buy at most one share, but you can sell as many shares as you want. Maximize your profit at the end of those n days. So let's look at some sample cases. So the first case we have is there's 3 days. On day 1, the share price is $1. On day 2, the share price is $2. On day 3, the share price is $100. So the optimal answer in this case will be to buy a stock on day 1, so that's going to cost us $1. Buy a stock on day 2, that's going to cost us $2, and sell both of those stocks on day 3 for $200. So our optimal answer in this case would be $197, and that's our answer. So let's look at a second case. So in this case, there's 3 days and the prices are 5, 3, and 2. So in this case, it's actually optimal to not buy any stocks, because we can see if at any time when we buy a stock, we can only sell it for a lesser price at a later date. So the answer in this case is actually 0. All right, let's look at our final sample case. So here we have 4 days, and in this case, it's optimal to purchase stocks on day 1 and day 3, and then sell those stocks on day 2 and 4 respectively. So if we're buying stocks on day 1 and day 3, that's going to cost us $2, and when we sell them, that's going to get us $5, and in total, that's going to give us an answer of 3. So when we're coming up with a solution, we want to think, all right, so when is the optimal time to buy a stock? So it's pretty clear that it's optimal to buy a stock whenever there's a later date that has a higher stock price. So we can buy it now and sell it for a higher price later. Now we want to ask the question, when is a good time to sell a stock? So when we buy a stock on day I, or a given day, we want to sell that stock at the maximum stock price that happens at a later date. So for example, on day 1, we have 3 later dates, days 2, 3, and 4, and the maximum out of those 3 is day 2. So that's why we sell this, our day 1 stock on day 2. And for day 3, we sell the maximum stock price at a later date is 2. So that's why we sell our day 3 stock at day 4 for $2. So let's move on to coding the solution. So just going to get into Sublime. Alright, so I'm just going to read in the test cases. So n is the number of days. Now I'm going to read in the prices for each day into an array. And then I'm going to read that in. Alright, so here's where we're going to calculate basically the maximum stock price that happens after a given day. So we're going to make an array called next max, and basically at the ith position in this array, we're going to store the maximum stock price that happens after day I. So how we're going to do this is we're going to keep a running maximum and start from the back of the array. So the first thing we want to do whenever we start iterating through these elements is to update our max, or the maximum we've seen so far. So then we want to update the maximum that occurs after day I. And since we are iterating through the elements in reverse order, we can simply our current running maximum is is the most optimal selling point for the current day I. So we're just gonna assign that value into our next max array. And then finally, we can start iterating through all the days to get our answer. So we actually have to use a long as our answer because the numbers get pretty big. And we'll iterate through all the days, and this time from the front to the back. And then at on each day, we're going to add to the answer the maximum selling point and the cost it took us to buy the stock on this day. So you might ask, so what if we don't really want to buy a stock on this day? On day one, we don't really want to buy a stock because it's not a better day to sell it at. But we can basically, the algorithm with next max basically treats it as you can sell once you buy a stock, you can sell it on the same day. So basically all we're doing is just buying the stock and then selling on the same day. So basically it's doing nothing, but it'll help simplify. That's basically it. And now all we need to do is print out the answer. And let's test this code. Oh, whoops, wrong file. We have a compile error. Okay, small typo. If we go back, run our program. Let's try it on the sample cases. 01973. Yes, that's correct. Okay, let's submit our program. I'm gonna copy this, go to the problem site, copy paste that in, submit the code. And as you can see, we get all the test cases. So this is the complete solution for stock maximize.